Dear colleagues, I'll try to be brief. I'll try to cope with 10 minutes. I wanted to say a few words of gratitude for inviting me to participate in this conference on a very topical issue. And I wanted to mention that my presentation is in to greater degree practice oriented because studying digitalization quite often doing an office study, we are missing the real life picture. I will start with the characteristics of our region because this will be my case study today and certain results of the survey. Let me mention that the industry of Vologda region is pretty developed from the point of view of its volume and its activities. It has a higher growth rate than in general the economy of the region. And if we compare it with the average Russian values, we see that growth rates for our region are more characteristic. At the same time, in industry, 20% of the population is employed, but unfortunately, as you can see in this slide, only a quarter of the companies, even less than a quarter, uh, uses technological innovations, key technological innovations, which, as we know today, are innovations related to digitalization. At the same time, the region has a low level of diversification. Key industries are metallurgy, chemistry, and metalworking. So my study confirms the information from our colleagues from the Institute of Economy. Hence, heavy industry, low level of conversions have its impact on the dominant technological organization, which determines the pace of digitalization in the region. However, it does not bypass us, and I must say that the most digitalized are, on the one hand, resource processing companies and the companies with low technological conversion stages. In this slide, I will show to you a small block of the results in process and industry digitalization in the whole of the region. And let me mention right away that in the first place, we interviewed representatives of small businesses because it was our key focus of study. We should note, first of all, that 40% is manual labor. It's not even the problem of mechanization in small companies. Leaving aside digitalization, 66% of the respondents answered that in their companies they do not use any digital technologies. The most widely used technologies are IoT, augmented reality, and so on. And in greater degree, it is used in design of some new products. The most serious barrier for digitalization, according to top managers, are high costs and low qualification, low competences of the personnel. We heard it from many presenters today, and according to our interviews, this data are in good agreement with this. And while the managers describe the tasks that they need to address or plan to address, first of all, it is planning and reduction of time for preparing production, design, and everything that relates to it, reduction of production cycle, optimization of business processes, cost reduction owing to energy efficiency and reduction of operation costs. Then we wanted to understand what is planned to be implemented, what digital technologies. And first of all, they talked about robotics technologies, robotic complexes, Internet of Things, and associated technologies. Despite the fact that digital transformation takes place in a very complicated business environment, and um, nonetheless, we see a good progress, and the management of the companies at least understand the way and what digital technologies they can use. But the implementation is still pretty difficult, and the key problem is quite often where to find financing for this modernization. Also, issues related to personnel training and qualified personnel in general. As you can see here, approximately half of the companies tell us that we do not have any high need in digital technologies, but where we do have them, we need to raise qualification, optimize production. Uh, so there are some companies which work and continue to work with the human capital or labor capital of the organizations that they have without even looking at the option of outsourcing or recruiting new specialists. Very briefly, I will describe the case studies that we had in terms of digitalization in the region. I will start with the large companies and will show the difference between large and small businesses. For instance, in Severstal, this is the leader in our region. They implement projects to improve productivity of continuous uh, casting and plating technologies. They are also paying attention to issues of labor safety and environmental issues and prevention of different types of accidents in particularly dangerous areas, and the system or through automatization of products produced at the company, that is improvement of the product quality and monitoring it. And these are probably main but not exhaustive list. In chemical industry, here the approach is somewhat different. Here they are more customer oriented. That's creation of online platforms. That's acquisition by ordinary users in agriculture and other industries of the main products of this company, and of course reduction of human presence in the dangerous areas and remote operation. Vologda optical mechanical plant, we have less information, but they too actively implement new technologies, robotization of processes. Um, what we see in small companies, a few specific examples. Small companies, because of the lack of their own resources and the lack of opportunities, capacity, use technology related to design of new products and the use of different types of instruments and tools that allow to digitalize their production processes. For instance, Maison Company is one of the few that uses automated design product systems, high precision measurement systems in the same level as the leading companies. Crown Stroymantas company also automates operations and works not in their main production because it's by piece production, but the issues of design, organization, or support processes which are also automated and digitalized. Also, as I mentioned, the key problem are the issues of funding, and it was mentioned by the management of the company. On our part, as Volog the Research Center, we try to assist them in this work and, where possible, contribute to the development of those areas. And with this purpose as well, in 2005, we developed this center of simulation of digitalization in real sector of economy, implementation of various investment projects, a pretty serious functionality together with the government of the Vologda region. We developed an algorithm of raising public and private funding. By way of an example, with our systems, the companies managed to raise over half a billion rubles. It's maybe does not look great, but for small companies, it's pretty important for digitalization of their processes. And the companies, which in this or that way collaborate with us in the area of digitalization and implement a number of digital products, not only digitalize their processes, but they are also developed new lines to produce digital products. For instance, a small company which developed an automated complex for scanning of the product, digitalization of the processes of primary selection of products for woodworking, the projects the projects in the field of medicine and healthcare, the complexes for collection and storage of the material, one of the areas where they apply these issues, and the companies involved in digitalization in other fields as the development of smart systems for animal growing and poultry factories, lighting systems, when the companies realize their development in other companies for separate processes. And just concluding, I want to say that in the topic there was the issue of the transition from industry 4.0 to 5.0. We understand that what life and government requires from us, and we need to sort it out how to make our industry more or less smarter from the point of view of digitalization. Thank you for your attention, and I'm prepared to answer your questions.